mean, on the comedic side, you have the photo of him doing whatever George Washington bullshit he's doing. He's got it's one picture for the history books. But
Yeah,
on a more serious note, I don't think there has ever been.
Got it right. Highs and lows. Unique and bold. Love. Light up. Just fun. Tune in now.
ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you all for a brand new episode in SPYLEAN'S SaGa, a place to know who you are. I mean, I don't know how many of you guys are trying to find out who you are by looking into this podcast or something. And today we have one of the huge guy, literally a huge guy. If I'm standing in front of him, I'm like tiny size in front of him. I have to like literally keep my head up and see, oh, bro, you there? And a guy who I met in my tuition time, and we have Chakkradar. If I don't know if I'm pronouncing right. Sup, mate? That's good. Okay. So today we're going to be discussing through a lot of topics and which most of you guys have been asking about, and yeah, and man has a lot of experience, and let's see what he's going to share with us. Before we start everything, let's go with a recap on small breaking news which happened. Trump getting shot literally in his ear. The plan was to kill him, and man just moves his head like a bit, towards his right, and he just misses the shot. What do you think about it, man?
I mean, it on the comedic side, you have the photo of him doing whatever George Washington bullshit he's doing. He's got it's one picture for the history books. But
Yeah,
on a more serious note, I don't think there has ever been. It's one of the two times a president or a former president has nearly been shot. The first time it worked out where JFK was assassinated.
yeah,
And I don't think there's another bigger cry than your president nearly being shot
got
to
it.
put a ban on weaponry. If you don't know,
Hmm.
the US, you can buy a gun as you're above 18.
Yeah, you get the
And
license. That's what.
no, I don't think the license isn't as difficult as you're making it out to be.
Okay.
It's like getting a car license these days in India.
Oh,
You
you're
just
saying getting the
take your
license of a gun
certificate.
is as easy as getting a car's license.
Depends on the state, but yeah, it is.
Okay.
Once you're above 18 and you're like not having a criminal record, they would issue you a license. But
Hmm.
it's that, and there's another thing is that they have ammunition vending machines where you can literally buy gun ammo like like you're buying soda cans from a vending machine. It is insane on how uncontrolled these are, and
Damn. Like,
you can get shot in the middle of the street, and like
hmm.
people won't be surprised, like, oh, guns are around.
One of the main reasons why when my dad plans for us to go to US or something for my education or something, he has this fear. Like most of the Indian parents do have, right? When you're going to such kind of
Yeah,
huge country,
I don't.
a lot of fear actually. It's not like India, right? So they plan a lot, they think a lot. Literally, like when my mom tells me here in India itself, she tells you're going outside, go carefully, get inside the bus carefully, look around you, keep your bag in front
And
of.
it's worse in places like Delhi.
Why? What
It's
happened
worse.
there?
Delhi is very unsafe for people. Like generally, there's a lot of crime that goes on in Delhi, and
Okay,
it's a lot of uncontrolled as well.
okay,
But
yeah.
another thing is
Hmm.
some of the other foreign countries control it better than what the US has it, US and Canada.
Examples?
Because in UK, you have to go through a whole screening process where they check at least all your family members having a criminal record or not. If they don't, they'll issue one gun per family,
Okay.
and you're not allowed to take it outside the house that you registered in.
Hmm.
So
I
it's
got
a
it.
little better over there. But
Okay, that's
again,
something new which I'm trying to.
studying outside India is always has its own benefits and own
Hmm.
disparities, if you
Yeah.
can call it.
Yeah, kind of understanding that. Like, how do I say this? Yeah, when it comes to this kind of political news or this kind of affairs, right? We never watch news at home. My dad recommends me. I'll watch it. It's better. You guys never watch news, so he doesn't like us watching news at home. So that's one of the main reasons why I don't know what's going
Well,
around. Maybe because of
thing
Instagram.
about news is newspapers were still fine. You're one person reading it, two people reading it.
Yeah.
Children really don't have the patience to sit in front of a huge black and white sheet and just read what's on it with very tiny
A lot
letters.
of people right now, what happened is it's just 30 seconds or 1 minute reels. People just scroll. That's what the fashion has become right now. There's no magazines, there's no newspapers. YouTube videos also came into a shortage right now. People don't even watch YouTube nowadays. Mostly it's just
No,
shorts,
no.
I feel, at one point of time.
Magazines and newspapers are still relevant. Newspapers less so than magazines, but
Hmm. I mean, people. I'm
Uh,
telling people are more comfortable with the shorter versions. They don't like reading a whole
yeah,
thing. That's
because
how it became.
see, these days people will only go into detail if they're interested.
Hmm.
And even back then, when newspapers were still used, you won't read the entire paper. You will read the headlines and move on. So, having news in the short and crisp manner
You're saying
is
this is
nothing
good.
new.
Okay, you're saying that's nothing new.
It is good and bad because it reduces your attention
Like,
span.
I'll tell you something. There's this incident where few friends of mine, let's leave friends, someone is reading the InShots app, right? It gives you a detail of, in
Yeah.
one screen you get to know what happened, the whole headline. So people just read that, they tend up to think this is the final incident, and that's what happened. And they, when they go for group discussions, right, what they read is like just 1% of what
Misinterpretation.
they know about the whole thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Misinterpretation
Yes.
becomes very problematic.
Yeah. One more headline bringing up to you guys. Ambani's wedding. Bro, he gave away 3 crores worth watches to every celebrity, man. Whoever were invited. 3 crores. Calendars, which is around 60 lakhs. And whatever, whatnot. I literally didn't want to read that article feeling like, what is this? I felt like it's just bullshit at this point. What is your comments?
Oh, I see you. But
Bro, calendar. A 60 lakhs calendar. What are you gonna do with
we'll
it?
get to that bit later. Just look at the guest list. He had Narendra Modi ji coming onto the there. Then
Kardashians. What about
the
them?
Kardashians.
Bro,
I
John,
never expected
John,
Ambani's and Kardashians.
one second.
I didn't.
Leave about that. In South Indian actors were coming up. Like where? From where? Why did they even invite it? That's one thing. Then John Cena. Did he ever know him personally?
I doubt. See, I understand South Indian actors to a certain
Okay,
extent
so
because
okay, Indians.
same country,
Okay, Indians fine. I get it. Leave them. When it comes
they're
to
popular people. People know them. It makes sense.
huh.
But Kardashians and John Cena makes more sense than the Kardashians. Why are the Kardashians there?
Bro, I guess maybe just to get that vibe, like if you see your Instagram reels, it's literally their wedding everywhere. They get paid, or they told them to make
They,
videos or something. They're
the
popular.
name Bani, no matter how small you put the wedding, will always come up in reels and
No,
shorts.
I'll tell you something. I read this somewhere. Most of the rich families in India or around the world, they spend at around 10 to 15% of their income or whatever money they have. Okay, Ambani is so poor that they only spend 0.8% of their income.
Yeah, no, just these people deal with money that it'll take we won't able to make in a lifetime.
I get it. No,
Like in a day,
hmm.
in that wedding space of 2 days, they probably spend at least a good couple of hundreds of millions of dollars. I'm talking about dollars, not
No,
rupees.
the second
They
wedding
spend
which they have, the pre-wedding or whatever you call it, I'm literally confused because they have so many events going on for one wedding. This one they spent 5,000 crores. That's what people are saying.
this wasn't the wedding. This was the wedding.
This was the wedding? Okay, I don't know. I'm confused because
This was the wedding.
one
They
before
had one
where Bill
engagement
Gates, Mark
ceremony.
Zuckerberg, and all those people came,
There
right?
was an engagement
Okay, that
ceremony,
was
and
great.
then this was the
Yeah,
wedding.
and after this they have more. It seems Mehendi, or I don't know what and all they have after this.
They're smaller ceremonies, so I don't think they'll call such a large crowd. But
Bro, what about those return gifts he gave, bro? Like, why? Is it actually necessary? And people are making memes. People came out there to enjoy just to get those watches and show off. Like, they're taking pictures.
see, one thing you need to understand is the kind of people that were called on the wedding,
Hmm.
the guest list,
Hmm.
not Ambani's family members or anything,
Hmm.
the guest
Hmm.
list. These people, if you give them 3 crore ka watch, it'll sit idle like a 2 rupee chocolate on the side of your desk. I am not kidding.
Okay.
These people
I mean,
are the epitome of material wealth. So trying to understand on how much they spend is something that better left for a brain rot. So
is there any other
there's no
comments you wanna
point of
follow up
making
with this?
sense of something.
You wanna follow up with any other
No,
questions? Like they could have spent the money in any other better way instead of.
it's their money. You can't ask them or
That's the
advise them on
same
how
thing
to
my
spend
dad
it.
was telling. Yeah.
These people live a different lifestyle altogether. Ambani's house is $1 billion. A billion.
Okay, we're just gonna move on from that topic, I guess. Literally.
Yeah.
A new trend. A
That's
new trend is starting right now. Begging in online. Like nowadays, if you see beggars in your footpath, they say if you don't have cash, they're turning the plate and saying, "There's the QR code. You can scan and pay me money." And now there's this new trend where people are posting reels where saying, "I want to buy this item," or "I have education fee where I'm not able to pay. Please scan this QR code and pay. I'm gonna reach my goal soon." What about that? I haven't seen one or two.
I
I've
don't
seen
know if
so many
when
about it.
we're talking about people who actually think they need something and they pay the money. So
No, like I've just like as I sent you like recently, he wants to buy an auto because he
yeah,
wants to go around the city. Like he wants to like I mean his job. He's putting a reel saying, "Help me fund my auto, guys."
see, if it's true, then the guy is stupid. If it's false, the people are stupid.
Yeah, you could say that. You're right about it. Literally.
So
Yeah. And next one.
it's
Next one.
you
Foreigners.
have always you have one
Hmm.
thing you have always people who whenever given something can use it either for something productive or stupidity. So you always have two sides of the
No,
coin.
why is it always that in India all this focus of attention is going on? Like what is up? Like I'll tell you one example. Like you use Discord?
Yeah, time to time.
Huh. So you know in Discord there's a servers called chill zone server or like servers where you sit down with people and talk in online, right? In a group chat.
Yeah.
Huh. So imagine you go to those servers and they call you, "Bro, you're an Indian or what?" Look, I'm like, "Yeah, I'm an Indian. What happened?" And then they just start commenting on stuff by saying, "You guys don't have, you don't have hygiene. You don't know how to live a life. I've heard it from my friends. Like few people hate talking with Indians, few people love talking with Indians, and it's just mixed up. Like my experience, like I mean, I never used Discord a lot. I started using like this week, and I thought I'll just go around, hang out with few random VCs or something, and then people just straight up comment, "Indian, huh? Yo, Indian nigga, what's up? What you doing, huh? Came to beg us." Like, I don't know, like,
Every region has this issue. Like if you're talking to an American or mostly an
huh.
American, I'm pretty sure a good chunk of them don't know who their father is. I'm
Hmm.
serious. And they have public hygiene and everything. Okay, that's fine. But you're selling guns in a grocery store
And when I talk
next to apples and
when I
bananas.
talk about this kind of topic, they get mad. And why I shouldn't get mad? You're
Exactly.
telling me I don't have
Exactly.
hygiene, I don't know how to live my life, and you're specifying telling I'm an Indian. What should I say back to you? Give you respect and say, "Bro, you slap me left, you slap me right. I'm fine. I'm okay. I'm gonna take with it." They make a meme out of us, bro. Literally.
Just let it wash off.
Yeah.
Because there'll always be people who talk shit and talk good.
Yeah,
So
that's what. Guys, just move on out of this kind of situations. Don't sit and fight with them. It's of no use. You're literally wasting your time, right? If I'm not right, like why sitting over there arguing with them, saying what is right? We did this. We are this and that. Literally, it's just waste of time. We don't have to prove ourselves. And then
fine.
now there's this new trend where people are wearing hoodies and t-shirts with a QR code on them and saying, "If you're single, come date me." No, I mean, scan the code. Let's date. Or there's this foreigners and saying, "I'm looking for a 20-plus-year-old guy. Scan this QR code to date me." What? Why?
Ignore and move on. That's
Let's move on topic.
that's all you can do. Ignore and move on.
Aliens, bro. In recent podcast, one of my favorite, I sent you that thing, right? One of my favorite hosts, the Ranveer's podcast. He was talking with
Yeah.
Nambian, and he was saying about aliens. What was your comment on that? I mean, it was a huge podcast, but if you highlight, he says that there are living creatures, some in other galaxy or another planet which we don't know.
I mean, it's kind of expected. You
It's
can't
expected.
expect
Yeah,
that Earth is the only
yeah.
unique
I feel
process of
like I
how
feel like
God
this world is trying to stop us from knowing the other part of it. They already know. They're just trying to make us limit and live in this cycle of I mean everybody knows it, I guess, already. But if you
like it's if aliens are here or not, the government will first step in, whether it's for good or
good or
bad.
bad, yeah.
Yeah, but here's the thing: the reason why the government doesn't let they're like, okay, we have alien people who actually made it to here. We as a civilization are preparing so much for a mission to Mars that will probably last a year, 2 years, and then they have to come back. We have people who have traveled solar light years from where they were to here and are interacting with its species in its own language in one form or the other. The advancement would scare a lot of people. So if aliens do exist, governments won't call it out in the open
Yeah, I feel
because
like if we talk about this topic, right, it's a topic which keeps on going and going on. There's never an end, right? This
exactly.
topic. Yeah.
It's it's like the public outcry during COVID.
Hmm. That's nice.
The amount of fear that people felt for COVID was very high. You could feel it in the streets.
Yeah, I got it. I got it. Now,
So
the main topic. Which college should I join? Which school should I join? Where should I go? Bro, I didn't get a good rank in JEE mains. Like, guys, I'll tell you one thing. Just because you didn't get a good rank or you don't have a good seat allotted for you doesn't mean that's your end of your life. That's a full stop. You can keep on going with it. Now we have Anna with us. What did you study by the way? You just tell it out to everyone.
I'm studying accessory design in National Institute of Fashion Technology,
Yeah,
Hyderabad.
and before 11th and 12th, what was the course you took?
Like 11th and
Yeah,
12th, I took commerce
commerce.
because
Okay. Hmm.
my dad's like, you're not interested in science anyway, and you're not going to touch those fields. Just
So
take
I want to
commerce.
bring this one topic, and I want to know what is your reply to this. So people think just because my parents are forcing, or my parents think computer science is much more better way to live, just because I'm doing computer science for next 4 years doesn't mean I'm going to be an engineer. There's nothing an end to it, right? It's your learning, and you can do something even more with it, right? It's never an end. Like, oh my god, I did engineering, my life is over now. I have to become an engineer, and I can't become what I wanted to.
See, it's a little more difficult than that because if you now I'm studying accessory design. Throughout my entire life, regardless what I do, my basic level of work understanding would be at accessory design.
Hmm. No, I mean,
That is not going to
yeah,
change.
most of the
So
parents, right, what they're thinking is my son or my son or daughter should have a broad wide of view, like not just one thing. If he has this degree here, he's settled. He has a financial set. He doesn't have to worry. He's never gonna be on streets or something. He knows how to live on himself, and then he'll know what to do next, and he can graduate. But the kids nowadays, they're thinking that burdening him that he has to get a rank, or he has to sit there. They're not letting him what he dreams about. What do you say for this?
that has been a problem, I
It
think, for a
differs.
very
It
long
differs
time.
on parents, right? It's not like
It
every parent
depends.
is bad.
It depends on what kind of parents
Hmm.
it is
Yeah.
and what kind of household you're in.
Got it.
Because if you talk about a traditionally doctor household
Hmm.
where you go to an MBBS and then do whatever masters you
Hmm.
want, then the child might or might not end up being a doctor.
Yeah.
But that kind of field, the doctory field, it's going to be relevant
Yeah.
for as long for a decent amount
Yeah.
of
That's
time.
true.
I don't know how it's AI is going to change things, but for a very decent amount of time, doctors are still going to be there.
Like
10 years, 20 years.
looking at the market right now, the conditions right now. You did you hear about the Brazil shut down their Volkswagen manufacturing unit? Did you know about that?
Oh, the market right now, if you're talking about market conditions, they are horrible.
Yeah. We
The
don't know
world,
what is gonna happen
see, the
tomorrow or the next
economy
second, right?
is in a cycle where you reach a peak and then after some time it'll go down and then it'll recess and then it'll start again.
Hmm.
So this cycle takes place. Right now, we are at a recession
So
period.
what is your
Okay.
advice? You took design, right? Thinking that because you never
Yeah.
wanted science. So what if future turns out in such a way that jobs in design or jobs in electronics is nothing. AI takes
No,
over and the
jobs are going to reduce because of AI. That is a certainty.
and
But
one more thing I would like to say. The cars, right? They've been literally laid down and not much people are buying automobiles nowadays. And there it seems this year is going to be the time where people have to buy a car or Jeep or anything. It's going to be cheaper, it seems. There are going to be discounts and a
I
huge
don't think
difference.
that's the
Hmm?
case. I don't think that's the case. No, the demand for vehicles is already quite high. If you look at Toyota's, the time you order, it's almost
Bro,
13 months
people
for any car you
people are
order
shutting
over there.
their manufacturing units, man.
That's out of India. In India, currently, there's no issues of this thing.
What I heard
In
from one of my
part of
hmm,
India,
go ahead.
your public transport is, depending on the region
Hmm,
again, is slightly better. So people don't generally prefer an automobile.
got it. Hmm,
Okay. So, but countries like India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Russia, Africa, the Middle East, and some parts of Europe,
yes.
they their primary mode of transport is either bus and like the subway here and there,
Hmm.
or metro, and then you have the bikes and cars.
Got it. Do you think this is a topic which should be discussed more further, or it's just a moving on topic? It's just part of the crisis.
Thinking it's not exactly a
Okay.
crisis because every company, every field will have its own down
No,
periods
like
and up
I literally
periods.
have no resource. I have no, what do you call? I'm not a pro in this kind of thing. I just heard my dad talking and saying that automobile industry is literally running very low. They're not having a good.
All industries right now are low.
Yeah, got it.
There is no industry that is doing well right now,
Hmm.
and we're in a period of economic
What do you
recession.
think is a
So
job that's gonna be there for another 5 to 10 years guaranteed? It'll be there. Could you say anything for that?
most fields would be there, but the things that require would change.
Required in
Okay,
sense?
let's take a
Hmm.
chef,
Hmm.
right? Your it would change from cooking in the kitchen to serving the food to making the recipes and perfecting it so that the machines will cook it perfectly every time.
Yeah, obviously, like when it comes to
So
the biscuits or
that
cookies
would
nowadays, which
not
are being manufactured, right, by the huge companies,
exactly.
everything is by the
Exactly.
machines.
But the thing is, whenever you're cooking, a human's cooking, you will have a certain. It'll be a different. There'll be a slight difference when a
I
human
mean, when
cooks
it
it.
comes, according to me, right, when I think about this topic, it's emotions, the love you're giving for the food, and what you feel. You cook it out and you give
Exactly.
it. And when you eat
Exactly.
it right, it's not a standard food you're eating. You feel that everything which, they've made it with, the procedure.
Like if a person is passionate about something and makes something, that, despite how imperfect it might
Hmm.
be, might would be having a different sort of feel to
Yeah.
it.
I mean, until like last 5 years, if you see anyone who's graduating after 12th, they would either take CS, medical. Now, commerce, electronic communications, they're taking hotel management. Design came into such a huge demand,
Huge, yeah,
huge
huge demand.
demand. Yes. Like,
Huge demand.
what I know, according to my dad, in this company which he works, right? It's an MNC. Let's say, GE Healthcare, Johnful Technologies.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
that huge MNC requires only around 2 to 3 graphic designers in India out of all the jobs they have, right? The designers they need is three, and when it comes to UFX designers, they need a team of 10 or 12. And then I was like, is it true? Why is it so limited? I mean, there are a lot of companies out there. People, there's NFTs. Graphic designers are having a huge demand in the online platform because everything is content creation right now. And if you keep everything aside, everyone right now as an individual, they're starting their own business, so they need a support of someone who's more pro in this kind of field, right? So I feel myself that the jobs right now for this next 5 years in graphic designers or whatever related to this artistic abilities, there will be more. But when I see people who are in this market for like 20 to 30 years who have experience in software engineering, they say they're going to live more, and they're also going to come to an end soon. But designers, they're not going to have a scope. It's not going to be something which you're going to live with peacefully. Is it true?
Yeah, see, once you have established a firm and you have a proper running website, decent marketing, you won't need that many graphic designers because you already have a stable format that and a set rules that a graphic designer has to follow through.
Hmm.
So they won't need an entire large team. And another thing is graphic designers, it's that is closer to engineering, I'm feeling like closer to software engineering where graphic and UI UX
Yeah,
designers are
those are
closer to
closer
software.
to the software development.
Yeah.
Yes.
And people have overcrowded that niche field, I have a feeling.
Hmm. I mean, I feel like all
And
the trends and interests came up because of the pandemic period. Like during pandemic itself, people were sitting in front of these gadgets, right? Before, I personally, I never used to be in front of a PC or do my work productively on a PC. I used to do it in a piece of paper or something which is physical. Now it's like everything is like I need my laptop or my mobile or a tab. It gets more easier, productive. There were changes, right?
how do I say this? Yes, pandemic has increased it, but if you look at it, Moment age of digitalization has hit, late age of digitalization around 2017, 2018 types. As a field, design, art, graphic and UI UX have both increased.
Hmm.
And another thing that people have taken an interest is fashion design.
Yeah, I get it.
Oh, the amount of
No, I
people that have.
what I feel like stating at this point is when like everyone have their own POVs. Like we both are talking, right? I might know 1% of the knowledge, you might know two, and now this becomes a huge discussion, and people think that is the end. This is what it is. If I follow like this, like I'll become what I want to.
No,
People
there
people are just ending this over
no
here. They're
one,
thinking like there's nothing more.
no
I
one
listen one, that is
can,
correct.
no one can piece together
Yeah,
100% of
like
something.
see, your dad or
That
your my dad, they themselves say, I'm still learning and I'll still be learning. I still don't know anything. That's what they say.
my grandfather also states that if I compile my entire life, I learned a bit. But
Bro, learning means
you
it's just for that temporary time, man. It's not like you've learned everything in
learning
your
is
whole
not
life.
mugging up something from a textbook, getting marks, getting a
Hmm.
degree.
It's the way
It's
to live life. It's not just that. How do you live life, right? Life is the most important thing. The relationships you build, the way you are in the society, how you see everything. That's the most important. That's your whole mental
it's
game, right?
a wheel where you're constantly adapting, gaining knowledge in order to live.
Hmm.
And no matter what kind of being you are, I'm talking about in humans, animals,
Hmm.
plants, you're going to learn and adapt.
What everyone are thinking is, I have a life. I should either live rich or I should either do fulfill all my dreams and then die. And there's this other side saying the peace, calm side. They're saying life is something which you're supposed to live it. You're not living a life when you're earning money. Living a life is a whole different thing, they say. The practice itself is different, they say.
The- Neither of the perspectives are wrong.
That's true. I mean, you can't say everything is right. That's what I've been trying to state here. Hmm.
Exactly. We live in a world with color.
Hmm.
Nothing's black and white.
Yes.
So the people who are saying we should make money and be ambitious, they're not wrong. And there are people who are saying I want to live comfortably, I want to live a little more peacefully, I want flow of things that go in a natural order. They're also not wrong.
Hmm.
It's at the end of the day, if you're content, I'm not going to say happy, sad, depressed. If you're content with what you have done till now, that's good. If not, work on it.
Yeah. I mean,
Don't complicate it further.
everyone is looking at all these noises, external disturbances, external distractions. They're, making that as the majority in their life out of that 100%. They're not seeing what else is there left over. It's literally around you. They're seeking something which is far and they're just looking which is hearing first. That is right. And complaining everything like in the recent podcast I was literally talking about the situation in Bangalore, the traffic. I mean, everyone is just complaining saying Bangalore is never going to grow. Look at the roads. The politicians don't care. They dig, they leave it, pothole, accidents, no good
There,
management over here. Like, guys, instead of complaining, you yourself see if you can help in something, contribute something, and see what is right at that point. Right? Help. That's one of the most important thing, right? In your way of life, the living. Everyone is like, you could also say, my life is more important. I have my own life. I should take care about this. I have a family. I need to earn money. So people are busy in their life. You could say that also, but a small contribution should be given out, right? In the place where you're living.
see,
They gave you a chance to live here.
they're not wrong in what they're saying.
Hmm.
Politicians, most of the politicians don't really care. And Bangalore will grow as a city. As a city, it will
I feel
grow.
like more.
However, the
I
road
feel like more often in a city it'll grow as a tech hub, a place where
has already grown as a tech
I'm
hub.
feeling more.
That is debatable because Hyderabad has also grown as a tech hub.
Yeah. What about the sports news yesterday? Spain won, and
Spain won.
Carlos won with one of the.
Congratulations to him.
Yeah. Did you watch any of those two matches? Either of the matches?
I haven't. I've kept up with a little bit of scores, but I really haven't followed sports as much as I would want
Hmm.
to.
As you get older, right? You feel like, imagine like a month back you texted someone, you were having a chat with them, and you see those chats. You feel like, why did I text like this? Is this actually me? And you can't tell it
No,
out. I mean, like when you see a
You change every month
hmm.
as a person. You keep evolving.
Yes,
Your
that's
text
true.
keep changing.
Not just text, not
I
just
look
text. The
back
way you used to be last year, the way you used to be yesterday, everything is a different when it comes
exactly.
today.
You you grow and mature.
Uh,
So you grow and then you would peak as a person where there's a lot more stability on who you
hmm.
are. Again, there'll be growth periods and downsides over there as
Hmm.
well. But there'll be a little more stability.
Hmm.
Okay, we're still growing.
What do you think is the message we could convey to kids nowadays, like 10 to 15 years, right? They're literally confused about their life. They think parents are holding them tight and making them live in that
Well,
tiny circle, and they don't think they're able to vision what they want to. What do you think the message is literally
see,
we have to convey to them?
To be continued.